Yo, what's going on? Kyle Wilson here, authentic YouTube VeVe YouTuber. Blah, 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 blah. Authentic VeVe YouTuber here in the house today, and just wanted to drop a video and kind of cover a little bit of FUD that I've been seeing in the market. We'll talk about why that is. We'll address a few other points like when Alfred Kahn. We'll address also other things like essentially videos I've been seeing about, bearish signs, or maybe not as bullish as some investors or YouTubers could be. So let's go ahead and dive right in and let's talk about it a little bit. All right, first off, we obviously are taking a look at the overall cryptocurrency market as a whole, okay? It doesn't take too much research to clearly see that the entire market is down. This is what I was expecting around, I think it was a couple months ago, actually, in April. Even before that, if you go back and watch when I started doing YouTube videos again, I was saying, be careful. I could see after Bitcoin hit 60K, I could see it going over a little bit and then literally just going right back down because it's a psychological level, and it was about time for Bitcoin to correct. And I said it usually will correct. I think it was like a 30% correction on the normal, and then I retraced it back down all the way, I think actually all the way back to 18,000 as far as the price goes, where just to correlate it with the last huge bull cycle, right? I think it was like the 2017 bull cycle when it ran all the way up, then it corrected. If we mathematically pull out a ruler and do the exact calculation, it would go back down to 18K. I'm not saying that that's where it's going to go right now, but I was trying to point out that it was kind of time for it to correct, okay? You want to see natural corrections in anything that you're investing in. So it is what it is. It's part of trading or investing, or really just riding the dips, okay? If anything, you should expect it, because in the dips you can obviously pick up a lower price, so it just makes sense. So as an investor, you have to expect it. You have to expect the dips, okay? They will come. They may hurt a little bit. It may feel like it's taking a while, but it is what it is, guys. Look at the entire market responding to the king, which is Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin is very much still the king of crypto, okay? Everything pegs off of Bitcoin, okay? It's been this way for a very long time, or at least back in the day, it was kind of like flips. Like it was like the altcoins would do really good, Bitcoin would kind of go down a little bit, but now it's just like, now they're kind of synced up a little bit, all right? So until that's just kind of the case, if Bitcoin moves big, then usually the altcoin market will move in accordance with that. But back then, it was kind of different, but it is for the most part, a signal to big whales, big traders, Wall Street investors, and what have you, all right? And worldwide investors. So here we are, as you can see, other than some stable coins and things like that, and just random other coins as well, but everything else is down, all right? It's down, okay? That's the reality of it. The reality of Ecomi is that it's a top 10 NFT coin by market capitalization. That's definitely a bullish thing. You want to be in the top 10. It was, I think, number 7 just the other day. It's been, I think, as high as like what number, I don't even know, but you're talking about it's more than Wax. Wax is a huge NFT platform, okay? Huge platform, okay? Wax has been around forever. $billion investor in Mike Novogratz, however you pronounce his last name, but huge, obviously a huge billionaire invested into Wax, and Ecomi is ahead of them. Sandbox, a lot, okay? These are a lot of very well known other platforms, and it's got a bigger market cap than all of those, so kind of a big deal, kind of a bullish thing. All right, when you're talking about mathematics and numbers, mainly talking about, I know everybody was looking at this video because ultimately it's just something to cover in the news. But this is why I think you're seeing a little bit more a little bit of bearish sentiment as of late. So I wanted to talk about that. I know this guy talked about a lot of numbers. Even Cavell had covered it and things like that. Actually, I think this is a different video, but still he covered that. And I think Poorman Printing, you had Danny cover it, Daniel Lee rather, and Non-Fungible covered it. So a lot of people covered it. But as you can see, you know, that's probably that's definitely one of his most viewed videos, because I think the Ecomi community as a whole had watched a lot of this video. It was a fair breakdown. Okay, I'm not gonna say that it wasn't a fair breakdown. It was a very fair breakdown. It was a really good breakdown, especially if you're a beginner. But it definitely had a lot of good. It had a lot of good in there, but it also what I noticed is it had a lot of missing information, as Poorman Printing was pointing out. I thought that was a good observation. I haven't actually watched all the way through on the other YouTubers videos, but Poorman Printing, I did watch his all the way through. I've been very busy lately, so I will get to the rest of everybody else's. His just happened to show up in my feed, so but we'll get to his. So I just want to talk about that. All right, so these numbers are pretty good numbers. It accounts for only 100% user growth, when actually I think year one, or at least year one, has been 2021 is what most people have considered. Also, I think we've grown by obviously way more than 100%. I think back in, what was it, February, where we like basically like 20x or whatever the amount of users. I think that at any point in time that they could just turn on that marketing throttle and just blast users on us if they wanted to. So these are very conservative numbers, in my opinion. Very good numbers. These are very conservative, very conservative numbers, and they're good. All right, so technically, you know, yeah, this is just 100% year after year, right? This is not accounting for any new features. This isn't accounting for any more users, as Poorman Printing was pointing out. And I don't think it's really accounting for the gaming aspect of it, which they could do games. You're talking about the VeVeverse. If they wanted to, they could really do like a land sale or something like that and raise even more capital. They could even drop any other form of utility on us that they want to. All right, it's their business, and they can do what they want. So there's a lot of other variables at the that I saw that just kind of wasn't mentioned in the video. So I think Poorman Printing already pointed all that out. One of the biggest ones that I didn't really hear either, it was the staking is highly underestimated. Which I've been trying to tell everybody in all of my videos, and all of the commenters that have been like kind of fudding a little bit or having doubts, is staking should not be underestimated by any means. Okay, all we have to do to essentially look at this, and actually I already have this pulled up, so we'll just go back to this page, but all we have to do is take a look at Cardano. All right, I've known about Cardano before it was listed anywhere, guys. Well, pretty much. Like, it was listed on only a couple exchanges. I was like one of the first YouTubers to do a video about Cardano, so I'm very familiar as far as the history goes. They've had a ton of updates, and I'm not into Cardano like I was, because I simply don't have any token. I sold them all. Unfortunately, I wish I kept them all, because it would be nice to have those tokens right about now. But what I'm saying is the power of staking and a solid project. I don't have to have too many. I don't have to have too many cases or proof that's the case. Okay. Point in case, obviously Cardano, but even XRP really hasn't. I mean, they have, there are 3 different types of products, or systems rather. And really that's, I mean, has anybody really adopted XRP to its full potential? I don't really think so. Dogecoin's a meme coin at number 7. Polkadot's got a pretty good ecosystem like Ethereum, and it's still just now in the beginning stages. But what I'm trying to say is Cardano is a highly staked coin. Like if you go on YouTube right now and you were researching Cardano, it wouldn't be, you wouldn't go too many videos before you see people start talking about staking and staking pools and things like that. So the point is people are holding on to their Cardano like their life depended on it, and they're actually staking it. They're earning kind of a passive income, if you will, with their Cardano. And when I say if you will, they are. You can earn quite a bit, especially if you were in the early days of Cardano and you had a lot, and now you have a lot of ADA and you're staking it, and you created a staking pool where others can jump in your pool and you guys can all earn a little bit to help run the network and secure the network and yada yada, right? Cardano is number 5 out of every single cryptocurrency ever like created. That's a big deal, and it's still in its beginning stages. Obviously, like you look at other coins that have that offer staking as well, which is one of their primary like selling features is staking. So that's why I think staking is highly underestimated. And when you're talking about premium digital collectibles, let's go back to the all-time or the top charts for NFT projects. You're talking about Theta, which, I mean, can you name NFTs on Theta right now? I think that's I think what is it? Streaming is coming to Theta. I'm not really 100% sure. Tezos has been around for a long time. Chili's, I think you can kind of the soccer's on Chile, or football, if you will, if you're in Europe. Engine Coin, we all know Engine Coin. I actually did a lot of videos, or a couple of videos on Engine Coin back in the day. Was letting people know about that. Decentraland is obviously a huge, Metaverse type deal. So, but can you name, like, can you, is there household names on Decentraland other than it's just a cool Metaverse? I mean, I'm sure, like, if you're savvy with NFTs, you might be able to port your NFTs over there. You can probably name them a couple. But can you name, like, Batman, Superman, like, Catwoman, Batgirl? Like, can you, like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So what I'm saying is the power of staking is very underestimated. When you get these collectors, these big time collectors pouring into the Ecomi app, especially year after year, what you're going to see is people that are going to fall in love with this project, because they can pick up a Superman or a Todd or a Mike Mignola. If you're a big super collector, you're going to fall in love with this project, but you're also going to want to find out how you can get access to these benefits and features on the app. And they're going to be like, well, I might as well pick up, 1 million OMI just like that, or 2 million or 3 million or 5 million or 6 million, or, the whales, you're talking about 10, 20, 30 million, 50 million OMI tokens, right? Or Ecomi, whatever you want to call it, OMI tokens. Okay. Point being is they will see the value of not just collecting the NFT itself, okay? And they will pick up the token, the OMI token, just for that feature alone. Now, if you're talking about the Metaverse, they were just on Twitter, okay? Trevor was just on Twitter asking the Ecomi community. Let's go to Trevor's Twitter real quick. Hashtag drivable T-Rexes. Hashtag my man Trev here. So let's go back here, see if we can find it. Anyways, I don't know if I will be able to find it, or maybe I scrolled past it, but oh yeah, here it is. Hello VeVe fam, what kinds of activities and rewards would you like to see in the VeVe Collectible Master Collector program? So who knows, who's to say what other features they may drop on us, okay? I think Poor Manny Printing even pointed out, like, obviously that we haven't even seen props. like Dan Crothers has says multiple times that props and all these other things are going to have its own marketplace. So if you're looking at like I get the Netflix comparison, but that's kind of, in my opinion, that's just content, right? That's good, but VeVe is really more than just going out and getting IPs. You're talking about skins, props. You're talking about the social media aspect of it, which is huge. So I think Giancarlo, like I said, this is a great video. I honestly, I wish he would cut this up to where it'd be more of an informational guide for, you know, I just hope he remakes this for a more bullish sentiment, because I think this would be an amazing resource, and I think he's actually an amazing resource to the community. If he can do a solid like educational video, I think that would be highly beneficial to the community. But like I said, I'm not bashing him at all, guys. Like, he did a very good video as far as the educational side goes, but I'm just addressing this side. So we have to look at other projects. Okay, I made more of a direct comparison to a project that I do know that has a social media aspect to it. They also have augmented reality. They also have they're also considered a glasses company or a wearables company. And they moved away from the social media aspect of it. And what I mean when I say that is I'm talking about Snapchat. Okay, let's look at Snapchat's market cap. Okay, it's down. Let's just go to year to date or 5 years. Snapchat has continually built onto their market cap. They were sitting, when I made this comparison, I think they were sitting only at like 60 billion or 80 billion market cap or something like that. Now they're almost at a $100 billion market cap. They don't have NFTs. They don't have collectibles. They don't have a market. They don't have a secondary market. They don't have tokenomics. It's just a stock, right? It's just a company with an app and the social aspect of it, right? So who's to say that Ecomi, look at the market cap right there. There's a lot more room to grow, is what I'm trying to say. When I compare it to a reasonable project like Snapchat, which that's just the social aspect of what we may see. Okay, we're talking about if there's big brand like Pokemon Go or Pokemon that will drive massive popularity, then I don't know. It's just like, what other utilities do you necessarily need for this price to just absolutely skyrocket? Okay, it's not, in my opinion, it's not a if but when. Okay, when. All right, look at the market. Everything's down, guys. Everything's down. So when people are like, oh, the OMI token's down, you're making all these videos, but look at the price of OMI. Yeah, look at the price of crypto. Okay, it was due for a correction. All right, when I see people comment that, I know that they haven't been in crypto that long. Okay, you are it is what it is. All right, I don't want to get too far into that, because it's not a big deal. If you're new to crypto, it's not a big deal. You're just gonna have to get used to corrections. You're just gonna have to get used to the entire market being down. It's just, it is what it is. It's part of the growth of crypto. This is where we are, and this is what happens in crypto. All right, now Netflix is another one. Let's look at Netflix market cap. $226 billion market cap. All right, $226 billion, capital B, $billion market cap. All right, I mean, guys, like I'm sure there's some room to grow if we're making direct comparisons, and I'm not saying Ecomi is, or VeVe rather. Well, Ecomi actually can as a company as a whole, but the VeVe app by itself, you know, I think we're all making just the assumption that VeVe is going to be the only product. I mean, they have the wallet, right? The secure wallet, which they could add utility to that. They could, I think we'll be able to float our NFTs on top of the wallet at, you know, we can just point our phones at that symbol and float an NFT right off of it and move it around, and it's going to be cool, right? What if they create other products? Okay, then you're talking about the cutting edge of crypto and NFTs combined. All right, that's a huge market. I think my Ecomi homie, Non-Fungible Wonderful, did a video on, I believe it was the market cap of the Metaverse, which was ARK Investment, which obviously ARK Investment is a huge investment company. They invest in crypto, obviously, which they weren't really big back then. In 2017, they were, but they weren't, I guess, but they weren't as well known. Now they're really well known because they're well diversified and they're always on CNBC and things like that. The CEO is always on there, and we'll just put, I don't know, cap. We'll see market Metaverse estimates. The point is, the Metaverse, I think he was saying in his video that it was like an estimated like it's in the $1 billion range, obviously, but I think it was like worth 1 billion in the next year, and then after that it's going to be worth like up to 30 billion, or was it 300 billion? I can't even remember. It's a lot. So if you combine Metaverse's gaming, which gaming could definitely come to the platform, and then you're talking about NFTs, all those combined have a separate vertical, right? And when you combine all those in Ecomi, that's a lot of money that this app can cash in on, all right? Not everybody's gonna be able to recreate this. Yes, there could be some copycats, there could be some brands, there could be, I mean, obviously there is some competition, right? We'll go to NFT coins and you can already see some competition. I think one of the main companies that people always bring up is Terra Virtua, right? Terra Virtua entire market cap is only, I guess, 20 million. I guess. I mean, I thought it was more, but that's the closest. I guess that's the most direct comparison. An entire platform of Rarible. I mean, that platform has a lot of artists on their platform as well. But Ecomi, what I've been trying to say as well is it could be literally, and it already is, but what I'm saying is it could literally be, because everybody thinks of it as so much of a closed loop type of platform, but it could literally become a much bigger project than we anticipated. And maybe the team realizes that, maybe they don't, maybe they will realize that. But what I mean is, what if we saw other drops on other platforms, and then one of these big IPs is like, hey, we would love for if our IP could be on your secondary market or something like that. And Ecomi's like, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, and then we have more product selection on the app, and now we have access to other IPs maybe via secondary market, and or whatever. But also more IPs coming to Ecomi because the royalties, right? The royalties are very big, all right? Netflix, yes, they went out there, they bought the IPs. I'm not sure if they got royalties, these IPs. Giancarlo was talking about how the IP cost, or to go out there and buy these, like, obviously these going to each studio and buying these like big name movies and things like that, there's a cost to it, and then that cost went up because of streaming. But what about the cost when these IPs like are already getting royalties? I'm not sure if that cost is like, I don't know if there's a direct correlation or a direct comparison when these companies are already getting royalties. What happens when they're getting royalties is maybe they will help get more users on this platform, because they realize, hey, if we get more users on Ecomi's platform and Slimer sells for about $5 million on Ecomi, we're gonna get a little piece of that. So don't we want more users on Ecomi? Yeah. So I think I think it's gonna be maybe the opposite, where these IPs realize, hey, we don't necessarily have to risk our own skin on the we don't have to really put as much risk on our side of creating our own app and pushing it, having a crypto, yada yada XYZ, right? We can just literally pump Ecomi and just say, hey, go to that platform, whatever, and get a Slimer or whatever. You know, it doesn't, you know what I'm trying to say? It's more beneficial for them to have more users on that platform, because if your product goes for a higher amount, you get a piece of that royalty. So I'm not sure if Netflix does that, but I just wanted to point that out. All right. We could, obviously, I think card games are going to come to Ecomi, trading cards. We're going to see, I mean, there's so much we have not seen that could come to the platform, that they have been like 3 years in the works on a lot of this stuff, right? Even the NFTs itself, like we've seen models from as far back as like 2-3 years ago on the videos. David used Instagram, like all that stuff, right? Who's to say they don't have something under the wraps? Why would they be so transparent so other people can just rip them off? All right. If you take a look at Facebook literally just copies everybody else, and hopefully the other company just goes out of business. They try to copy Snapchat. They bought out Instagram. You know what I mean? So who's to say they don't have something else down the pipeline, right? So the risk there, like I just have a good feeling about where this is going, just based off of the delivered products, the delivered things. Yes, there's some things that haven't came to fruition, but you really don't know. All right, I think they're being maybe a little too transparent with the community, because they're trying to please all these people that are kind of ultimately, I don't know what to call you, but you're pretty much just kind of, maybe you're overextended. I don't know what your situation is, but anyways, I think maybe there's a lot of valid points, so I get it. I think every community needs people having some valid points, but I just wanted to address those, each side of that. Also, as far as Alfred Kahn goes himself, I think this was a message I found in Discord, which was talking about Alfred Kahn, and David Yu says, actually, Al keeps asking me every couple of days when we can get him on camera. Myself and Dan have a bit of meetings, and he is based in New York and we are in New Zealand, and Reese is in Australia, so we'll try get a time connected. So yeah, I'm just not too worried about that. You know, ultimately Al's probably doing his own thing, getting more licensors, things like that. I don't know, the guy's probably, you know, can do what he wants at this stage of his life. So, but he's choosing to be on Ecomi's team, and it's obviously paying dividends, because look at where this project is, as far as look at all these other projects. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, look at all this, like some of these projects you'll even recognize just because we are in kind of the NFT space. Like I think Rev was one of them. I've seen Meme Coin. Rarible is a big one I've seen. Like every NFT artist puts Rarible on their kind of their links or whatever. We can kind of pick up some of their art. You have some other big ones. I think Luxo maybe is one of Eternity. That was supposed to be super amazing, super big, super crazy, next generation, next world, you know, platforms. It's at 16. Wax has been out like literally forever. Axie, the Sandbot. I mean, guys, come on, talk to me a little bit. All right, let me know what you think in the comments below. And like I said, I was just pointing this video out, not because he did it. Like I said, I think he did a good video. Was there points left out? I think so. I think there's a lot of variables left out on the table. No big deal, no harm, no foul. Great video. I suggest doing that. He would do, if he's watching this video, I suggest he do an educational video about maybe all the other factors involved. Maybe a little bit more about master collectors, staking, skins, the OMI marketplace, everything like that, totally end to end, because clearly he's good at making videos. In my opinion, I think he's good. So I would like to see maybe another update on maybe a bear or a bullish sentiment, right? I think that would be really cool. Just have him do one on like the scenario if, you know, things proceed in the other direction, because I think he's doing one on just the bare minimum of where we're at right now, and not really including in the possible other variables in there and future things that we may see, that we will probably see, like VeVeverse, even within this year, of course. And as Cavell says,
Al Khan and David Yu are together. That's like Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
All right, clip it and ship it. All right, that's all I got for this video, and let me know what you guys' thoughts are below. Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about not this guy, I just what I've seen in the community on like Reddit and stuff like that, mainly. So his video was interesting. I just wanted to bring that as like a point of interest. So my video is definitely not about that video. It's just about, I'm talking about like deep FUD. I'm talking about kind of what I've seen in some Discord servers, maybe some Reddit FUD, some comments in my videos, some comments on other YouTubers' videos, some valid points, but also some like crazy FUD I've been seeing, or maybe people maybe leaving out a lot of details and a lot of underestimation going on. I did a little poll, I think just recently on my channel, as a matter of fact. Is 84 votes so far. The community went on. I did post that, so this was a kind of a little bit of a funny thing. How do you think OMI will perform? 89%, almost 90% of people out of 84 votes so far, and this was just 2 hours ago as this video was being shot. OMI will outperform expectations, staking, and VeVeverse. And then only 11% said OMI is not my homie, which I'm sure their portfolios are hurting. Which, if you follow some of my price videos, I tell you guys, man, have a plan, have a plan A, B, and C. Watch the price like a hawk. Don't buy into hypes, and always protect yourself, man. Always invest the wise way. Always look for the dips, like what we're experiencing right now, guys. How long will this dip last? I don't know, guys. We'll have to wait and see, because it's not just Ecomi. We can't just be blaming Ecomi. We have to look at crypto as a whole, guys. I've been trying to say this from day one, that the Ecomi price, you know, when crypto's down, everything's down. All right, NFTs, like artists are having a little bit more trouble maybe selling their NFTs. Well, when crypto's down, everything is just kind of down. All right, that's just, it is what it is. So let's wait and see. Might be a good time to pick up some other coins too. All right, to diversify just a little bit. And when I mean that, I mean like some blue chip cryptos like Ethereum. Reese has kind of definitely opened my mind a little bit more about that, or at least more of a bullish, just how he's put it. And I'm like, oh yeah, Ethereum is the big dog. All right, okay, yeah, that does make sense. Literally every developer is literally on Ethereum, and new developers are literally learning how to build more dApps on Ethereum. They're not necessarily going to Cardano. It's just the most brilliant minds are mainly in Ethereum, right? And it's going to continue that way, especially ETH 2.0, sharding, and all the whole 9 yards, right? So just make sure you're putting your money in wise places. It would be smart and beneficial to, if you are investing into meme coins and you have gains to put, maybe looking at putting it in a coin that's in a dip, aka Ecomi, would be a nice little bag. And like I said, it's not an if but when, in my opinion, and my summation of everything that I've learned and all the AMAs. But like I said, so yeah, clip it and ship it, like Cavell said. Like Michael Jordan and LeBron James playing on the same team, and the best is yet to come. We're still so early and still in the beginning. The platform's only been out for a few months, 6 months, 7 months, or whatever. Just the very beginning, guys. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are below, and as always, Peace, love, VeVe. Be like an NFT. Be authentic. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.